right, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. You don't never know what I'm going to say. And we were talking during about last night about Black Mirror, and I was discussing this new season. The first episode, Tracy Ellis Ross and Rashida Jones are in that episode. And basically, Rashida Jones has this terminal illness, and her husband does everything that he can to keep her alive, including an experimental chip in her brain. Now, I'm asking, would you do that for somebody that you love? What do you think, Navy? You watch Black Mirror, and I'm going to tell you. All right, no, you tell me first. What do you think?
I would do it, but I'd be cautious of the company that comes to me.
Okay.
Like, I would buy anything from Tracy Ellis Ross, so you'd got me.
Oh, my goodness.
You got me.
She's acting.
Yeah.
But, here's my thoughts on it. I think that somebody you love, yes, you will do whatever you can to keep them alive. And I think that's the first and foremost thing that comes to mind. But it's also just a little scary just because I watch a lot of horror movies and I feel like it never ends well. People change, they become different when you watch these movies. So it would make me really nervous, especially those movies where they bring someone back to life, but the person is never quite the same. Sometimes I feel like you can't fight what is supposed to be fate, but I'm not sure. But I think when it comes to my family, I would have to do it. All right. Well, I want to know what you guys think. 800-292-5150. Hey, Ahmad, how are you?
Hello, Missy. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. Do you watch Black Mirror?
So I don't watch it. I've seen a couple episodes, cause my mama, she watch it all the time.
Okay. So what do you think about, to save somebody close to your significant other, to save their life, would you do something experimental, like put a chip in their brain?
So for me, it's 50-50 because, of course, that's your close friend. That's whoever close to you. You want to make sure you exhaust all options. You want to do everything in your power to make sure, they can stay with you for as long as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But then the other half of it is, everybody's seeing, a supernatural show or something like that, or heard supernatural stories. If it's somebody's time to go, no matter who you are, you can say you pray to the ancestors, you pray to God. It's just, you're not supposed to play with that. You're not supposed to play when it's time for somebody's spirit to just go ahead and leave the physical body. Even if you boil it down to something simple, just keeping somebody on life support,
mm-hmm.
Those doctors will tell you all the time they in pain. They just can't show they in pain, but they in pain. So I guess if I really had to put my foot down, I had to let them go.
Wow. Okay. Well, that was very well thought out. Thank you for calling.
You stop. Cut it out.
It
Thanks
was. You had every. It feels like you've thought about this before.
I have, when you watch all those kind of shows and it's always an episode with a character getting ready to go away, and this got you sitting on the couch in the living room dang, what would I do?
It all started with Pet Cemetery when people were burying their pets in the pet cemetery and they were coming back to life completely different and changed.
Let me tell you something. When that little cat came back to life, That's probably when I decided, oh, nah.
Yeah, I ain't doing that. All right. Well, thank you for calling. Hey, Tom, what's up?
What up?
Now, let me ask you, if somebody close to you has a terminal illness, but they could do an experiment on them to let them live, would you do it? Put a chip in their brain?
It depends. Whether if they die, you have to pay me. If they don't, then y'all get the credit for it.
Now, hold on. You said if they die, they have to pay you?
Yeah.
So that's what's going to determine whether or not somebody's life is in your hands, and it's only if you get paid if they die. This don't sound good.
No, I'm saying if I'm going to try to experiment, y'all got to give me some insurance too, because if it's a success, they go get insurance. You see what I'm saying? You know what,
though? If you watch it, I think you should watch Black Mirror, because he paid them to keep her alive. He had to pay a monthly fee, a $300 a month.
Now, you know where we from, everybody ain't got the money to pay.
And that's what happened on there, too. He did not have that money to pay and had to work all kind of overtime. But you would. Would you pay to keep somebody alive?
Oh, yeah, if I had the money, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for calling. Hey, Yusef, how are you?
What's going on, Angela Yee? How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Now, the question is, if somebody close to you that you love had a terminal illness, would you do an experiment, something that hasn't really been tested, a chip in the brain, some type of whatever, to keep them alive?
Absolutely. I got 3 sons and my parents. I would be first in line to put my life on the line for them without question. It wouldn't even be there would be no second thought.
Okay.
I would be first in line.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, and I can see why a person would feel that way in a situation like that. Anytime you could try to keep some.
My three sons. If ain't nothing I wouldn't do. I would be first in line. I'll live my life. So that's my job as their dad. It wouldn't even be a question for me.
All right. Well, thank you for calling.
Way up.